Well, people, there you have it, right? What a great last event of the year for the UFC. UFC on ESPN plus 57, aka UKA UFC Vegas 45, killed it, right? We had Brandon Fitzgerald, Paul Felder, and Michael Bisping on the call. Lost the fight, so 13, but those 13 fights, how crazy were those? And 10 finishes. 10 finishes out of the 13. How crazy was that? A lot of people were really show and proved. You know what I mean? There was definitely some of those fights that did not go how I expected, but I think not many. I think I got a lot of them right, people. So it all started off the prelims, right? We had Jordan Leavitt against Matt Sales. Sales had been out for a while, but he didn't look bad. Didn't look bad at all. And I think the big thing about Levett's last fight was activity, right? He seemed to be waiting for shots, you know what I mean? Waiting on those openings. And straight out the gate, we saw Levitt was busier, more busy. Yeah, Levitt was busier than he was last time. Now, Sales was landing, but Levitt was really mixing up with different sorts of kicks. He was using his jab. Now, I did wonder because although he was throwing out the jab, he wasn't sitting on it. You know what I mean? And I was saying, oh, it's going to give Sales a chance to get inside. And it did. But Levitt was able to reverse that, take him down, and then kind of control things on the ground. So Levitt really looked good. Second round, though, Levitt was looking a little tired. And Sales was, landing some more shots. And you wondered. But again, Levitt able to take him down. And then in a scramble, as Sales tried to get up, Levitt, boom. They call him the Monkey King, and he used his legs to sink in a reverse triangle. And that was it. Like, at first, you wondered how tight it was. And just when you're thinking, I'm not sure if it's tight, I don't know, suddenly we get a tap. Sales has to tap. Levitt pulls out a really good win, So we then, we jump up to our first heavyweight clash of the night. It was Josh Parisian against Don'Tale Mayes. And, I feel this was the best performance we have seen out of Mayes. I really do. Again, Mayes, he can be a little hesitant, but there was none of that in this one. He went straight at Parisian, threw in a lot of different attacks, was keeping busy, gets takedowns. You know what I mean? Was going for takedowns, which I don't think Parisian was expecting. Got it to the ground, and then you just see him controlling. And, he was looking for a Kimura at one point. He then hooks up a crucifix and just starts dropping those elbows, people. Boom. Parisian wasn't able to do anything, wasn't able to extricate himself from the situation. And, Mayes wins the fight. It was a excellent performance from him. It really was. So then we drop all the way down to featherweight. We have the ladies go at it. It was Macy Shazam against Raquel Pennington. And as I said before, right, this fight, I think there was a lot on it because the featherweight division, it isn't big, right? It is pretty shallow. So if you put on good performances, you could position yourself, to get a title shot or to be very close to getting one. Now, there's the Brazilian lass. I think she's probably going to be the next in line to get, but whoever won this one, it had potential and real good fight, right? I think Shazam was, she was using her jab well, and she was fast. She was definitely fast, but it was Pennington who was throwing the more volume, and Pennington's the one pushing forward. But then every time Pennington, might have thought, okay, I've got her, Shazam would then come with a flurry and looked like she had some heavy shots. You know what I mean? Which was good, but yeah, you just were like, she needs to use the reach more. Like Shazam wasn't really utilizing that reach as well as she could. You could see she had the power, and when she was turning it on, she looked so good. But Pennington, man, she's just so tough. And she would stick in that pocket and just throw back. Right? Throw back, grapple Shazam and all of that. And I think that slowly started to wear on her. And you could see Shazam slow down a little bit. And in the second round, Shazam went for a takedown, but didn't protect the neck. And Pennington grabbed it, and the crazy thing, Penton grabbed the neck while they were still standing, but Shazam didn't address it, took her down, and that was it. Right? Once it hit the ground, she's in that bad situation. Penton's got that grip, got that guillotine, and she has to tap. So a huge win for Raquel Pennington, especially because Macy Shazam, she'd only lost one up until this fight. And you could see there was a lot of potential. So for Pennington to get this win, and especially as Shazam missed weight, huge win for her. So we're sticking at featherweight, and we went over to the men. It was Andre Ewell, whose first fight at this weight went up against Charles Jourdain. And man, so the thing, look, you can see you real quick, sharp hands, and that was on display early on. It looked like he'd hurt Jourdain in the first round. But Jourdain, man, it was like the tortoise and the hare? I feel it was a hare, right? Because I was going to say the ant, but I think that's another one, right? I think the ant was with someone else, but I think it's the tortoise and the hare. But that's what this was like, because Jourdain, he did. I don't think he won that first round, but he was, attacking the legs really well. Oh man, he was attacking the legs, right? Attacking the body, throwing out that jab. And although Ewell was faster, Jourdain just stuck to that game plan. Then come the second round, Ewell was tired. And Jourdain just kept going. Doing what he was doing, attacking the legs, attacking the body. And when someone's getting tired, oh man, attacking the body is just mean. I mean, it's smart, but it's mean, man, because you're just taking that gas away. And come the third, Oh man, Jordan was just keeping going, putting it on you. And there was some points when you thought that fight was gonna get stopped. So you, man, definitely showed the toughness to stick in there. But Charles Jourdain, he really put a stamp on it at the end of that third. Because he hit a just crazy teep kick, just pushed you to the ground and just was firing shots. He was fired up. And after a performance like this, you can see why. Tremendous win for Charles Jourdain, people. And that was just the first decision of the night. Don't worry, it was after that. After that, it was just like, yeah. Oh, so we dropped down to the ladies flyweight division. We had Sajara Eubanks against Melissa Gatto. And in that first round, Eubanks was looking good, right? She was coming forward, she was throwing a lot. She gets a takedown. Now Gatto was able to kind of stuff it, end up on top, but Eubanks was able to reverse, right? So Eubanks was on top. Now Gatto, she was throwing a lot from the bottom. You know, she was throwing up some elbows. She was looking at, different submissions. Eubanks, look, jiu-jitsu was her first discipline, so she's skilled. So she wasn't getting caught, but Gatto was staying mad busy. But you just thought Eubanks has won that first round. Now, come the second, Gatto was able to reverse that. So she gets a takedown and she was able to control Eubanks. So it's real interesting. So you're looking at the third round and you say, oh, where's this going? Like, what's going to happen? And Gatto just fired a front kick, right? But it wasn't your mum and dad's front kick, people. No, it was one of them ones when they fired the toes up into the solar plexus, and it just hit Eubanks, and Eubanks she just doubled over on the ground. Gatto fired off some shots, and that was all she wrote. You know what I mean? Melissa Gatto still unbeaten, and another good win as well because Eubanks missed weight. Right, so next was our second heavyweight clash of the night, and this one, because Justin Tafa, he was the third fighter to miss weight. You know what I mean? And being a heavyweight, not good. So with this one, Hunsaker came out and was doing everything right. A lot of movement. He was attacking the leg. You know what I mean? Just doing everything right. Just avoiding those heavy shots from Tafa. But Tafa, it's a problem, man. It's a problem. Started to land some big shots, right? Some heavy shots. Hunsaker was off balance. He crashed into the fence, and Tafa just fired a head kick. Now, crazy thing, Hunsaker, he understood what was coming. Put both arms up to block. Did not matter. Have you seen Tafa's legs? It's tree trunks, baby. And it just crumpled. Poor Harry. Fight was done. I mean, this is one of those ones when, hey, if you're missing weight at heavyweight, it's gonna be a problem. Because this Tafa always had power, so with that extra weight, and you wonder what the fuck they're gonna weigh when they're actually in there. You know what I mean? And boy, Tafa, he looked huge compared to Hunsaker, and Hunsaker ain't small. You know what I mean? So, hey, huge win for Justin Tafa, and I think that's his first in the UFC, or his first in a long ass time. Anyway, so yeah, it was definitely a good look for him. It was the weight cut makes it a shame, you know what I mean? But definitely a big win because Tafa needed it. So our main fight on the prelims was Dustin Stoltz against Gerald Meerschaert. And this fight, middleweight, it's crazy. It's a crazy fight. This Meerschaert came out and he was looking like he was just controlling it. Controlling it. You know, it was all over Stoltz. Stolfus, even Stoltz. And it looked like he might end it in the first. But Stolfus, he was able to survive. And then in the second, he came on. Stolfus came on. And you're like, oh shit. Okay. I mean, we got to fight, baby. We got to fight. And then come the third, Stolfus, he was continuing doing his thing. Continue doing his thing. And you're like, is Stolfus going to get this fight? Is he going to win? Shit. This is crazy. Right? He seemed to be doing everything right. Seemed to be doing everything right. Until he wasn't. Right? He just engaged for too long. Engaged for too long on the ground. Just in an unfavorable situation, you know? And Meerschaert did what Meerschaert does, right? He took that back. And man, he just sunk in that rear naked. Stolfus wasn't able to fight those hands. Meerschaert sunk in that rear naked choke. And that was it, people. That was it. His third submission win of 2021. Huge year for Gerald Meerschaert. And yeah, put himself back in the conversation. And just a great way to take us into the main card. You know what I mean? Just one decision. Like all those finishes. It was crazy.